On today's show, we don't talk about the Hornets or Lakers. Yay!
Winter sports are wrapping up and spring sports are hitting their stride.
And we give you your LSU Sports Weekend Update.
Get on the edge of your seat and put your rally cap on because it's the bottom of the ninth and it starts, you guessed it, right now. Welcome to Sports Showtime's bottom of the ninth. I'm Alex Cheney.
And I'm Patrick Clay. Thanks for tuning in. Alex, we got a lot going on in LSU sports this week. How about that?
Let's get started.
Let's get started. Everyone, football is back. Well, just kidding. Only spring practice. The Tigers will have 13 spring practices before the L Club spring game scheduled for April 20th. This will be the new offensive coordinator Cam Cameron's first showing with the Tigers. And it'll be interesting to see how Cameron works with his staple of running backs with the return of Alfred Blue. Now, Alex, Alfred Blue's coming back into this already crowded backfield, very strong last year, lost Michael Ford, lost Ware, but they still got some great returning talent. Does Blue have a spot in this backfield? What's your opinion?
Well, I do think Blue will see some carries. Les Miles likes to flow a lot of guys in and out. But I really don't think he's going to see the number of touches he did last season. Guys like Jeremy Hill, who came on so strong for LSU near the last season, had a lot of great runs that just iced games. Hilliard, of course, a big back. I just don't think Blue does anything really spectacular that would make him get more carries over Hilliard or Hill.
I'm going to have to disagree because you remember in 2011 especially, and in the beginning of 2012 before he got injured, LSU was really beginning to use him in goal line situations. When him, I mean Alfred Blue. And he's going to be the senior leader of that backfield.
Hilliard was the ultimate vulture last year.
He was the ultimate vulture, sure. But both are sophomores. They're young. Alfred Blue has that experience. He's going to know the system because he's had more time to sit and learn.
And everyone's learning the new system with Cam Cameron.
I'm saying he's had more time off with the injury. I think he's going to get some carries. He's that senior leader. But we'll see. Earlier today, the LSU men's basketball team took on the Georgia Bulldogs in the second round of the SEC tournament.
It was Johnny Jones' first postseason appearance as head coach of the program. Let's see how they did.
Taking it to Nashville, Tennessee. Early first half, Andre Stringer gets the steal, passes it to Johnny O'Brien in the layup, and one. LSU getting up early.
Later on in the first half, Siobhan Coleman with the nice steal, all by himself, two-headed dunk. Coleman would lead LSU with 24 points. Tigers up 39-19 at the half.
But Georgia would start coming back in the second, led by Contavious Caldwell-Pope with not one, not two, but three three-pointers. He had a career high of 32 points that night. LSU only up 4.
Under 15 seconds left, LSU up by 3. Coleman with another try, and not this time. Tigers go on to win 68-63.
Johnny O'Brien preview tomorrow's game against Florida.
You know, last time we played Florida, it was very early in SEC play. You know, we were still trying to find out who we were as a team. And we've gotten a lot better since then. You know, I've gotten a lot better since then. And I think it's going to be a great game tomorrow. Can't wait to play.
Patrick, what can we look for tomorrow's game against Florida?
Well, I've told you a couple weeks ago, this would be LSU's nightmare. Finishing in the 8th or 9th spot in the SEC, you get the most even first-round matchup, and then if you win, you face number 1 seed Florida, the only team that LSU really never put up a fight against. Yeah, the first half of that game earlier in the season, only down 9 at half, but Florida, they're a little streaky right now. They've got the front court play that could easily outman Johnny O'Brien and everyone's favorite tuba player, Andrew Del Piero. I think they're definitely going to outmuscle the Tigers. That's their only shot at winning, is if they can dominate the paint and get some threes from the guard help.
Well, I definitely agree with you. The paint is the key to this game. I really think the Tigers will go as far as Johnny O'Brien takes them. He's an ox. Okay, that's how my former basketball coach call him an ox. Usually, you see guys in non-conference play just blow up and then start coasting once they reach conference play. Johnny O'Brien elevated his game once he reached the SEC. His numbers are incredible for a guy his age. I really think if he plays well, it gives the Tigers a good shot against Florida.
Let's just hope he comes back next year with the recruiting class coming in.
Coming up after the break, Patrick and I take a trip to the Diamond and look at how baseball and softball are doing.
Don't go anywhere. Sports Showtime will be right back.
Welcome back to the show. The LSU baseball Tigers sit at a record of 16-1 entering conference play this weekend. The Tigers are confident entering the weekend road series against Mississippi State following last night's pull-away victory against in-state rival Nicholls State.
LSU entered the bottom of the 8th, clinging to a 4-3 lead before the Tigers exploded for the five runs to seal the game, including Mason Katz's 2-run homer. As they travel to Starkville this weekend on an 11-game win streak, freshman outfielder Mark Laird said the team's preparation stays the same.
Just go in there confident and focused, just like the past 17 games. So I'm going to go in there and treat it like any other game and not get nervous or anything.
Alex, now you can hear the players using the same old rhetoric about how this is just any other game, but first road series, opening conference play, you got to think the players are a little more hyped than that.
I mean, opening conference play on the road in an environment like Stark Vegas, it's going to be a little intimidating for many of these young players when their only other road experience this season was the Raging Cajuns of UL Lafayette. However, I think a very savvy move by Coach Maneri. He played 10 pitchers in the game against Nicholls State, getting everybody kind of acclimated to playing baseball. But of course, any SEC team is going to be a little bit more difficult than Brown.
Yeah, you definitely want your players to be acclimated to playing baseball. I'm going to go ahead and say, though, LSU drops this first game against Mississippi State. This is going to be their, like I said, first road game in a conference series. They come in a little too hyped, maybe a little shaken up. And like you said, that menacing Starkville crowd, top 5 in the nation and SEC in attendance, I think they get a little rattled.
This is a confident LSU team. Yeah, they have a lot of young guys in Bergman and Laird, but they're ready to go. I believe that this team can sweep Mississippi State. They can go out there, they can punch Mississippi State right in the mouth and take that first road series in the SEC.
Every team drops one.
Keeping things on the diamond, the LSU softball beat Nicholls State last night in stunning fashion. Sports Showtime reporter Rachel Richlinski tasted the home cooking the softball team served up last night.
The LSU softball team played their first home game after being on the road for nearly a month last night against in-state rival Nicholls State. LSU disposed of the Lady Colonels last night in just 4 innings, winning 8-0, with all 8 runs coming in the first inning. JC Blade stood out tonight with a 2 RBI base hit in the first inning.
I got to swing away finally, so that helps my confidence definitely, and I feel a little better in that situation, I guess, so that was fun.
On the defensive end, Ashley Checkner pitched last night's game and gave up only 1 run. She says that this game gave her more confidence to throw certain pitches in the future.
For myself, it makes me feel pretty confident, throwing a one-hitter. It makes me, I was able to throw different pitches that I normally wouldn't throw, so I was able, to get some work on those, which is good, so I'll be able to throw them, against the tougher opponents.
But above all else, the Lady Tigers were just happy to be back home in Tiger Park.
Relief to be home. It's awesome. So nice to be here and just in front of the Tiger fans. We have the best fans in all the country, so great to be back in front of them. They always make us play better, so we were happy to be home.
Tiger TV, Rachel Richlinski.
You can catch the Tigers in action this Friday evening at 6 in Tiger Park against the number 17 ranked Kentucky State. Always good to see the Lady Tigers getting back on track.
Absolutely, Alex. You had the softball team, they started off great this season, especially coming off that World Series appearance that really, let's be honest, no one saw coming. But then they had this extended road trip where they had to do tournaments in Orlando, California. It was good that they were able to come back home last night against Nicholls State, get a little home cooking under their belt, entering this weekend series against number 17 Kentucky. That's going to be a test.
Rachel Fico, where you at? Pitching.
All the way. Coming up after the break, we give you your weekend sports preview.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the show. We got a big weekend coming up for sports.
Not only St. Patty's Day weekend, but we have
my namesake.
Road Baseball Classic tonight at 6. Dominican taking on the USC, Jose Reyes, and I think Dickey's taking them out tonight.
Really? How about that?
Yeah.
And keeping with the baseball vein, you got LSU versus Mississippi State, like we talked about, this Saturday at 6 on CST Channel 37 for you local cable providers.
If you're not on satellite. And then, of course, we got the Hornets taking on the Wiz.
Ooh.
Also Saturday at 6, Fox
Lottery
Sports
battle.
New Orleans, just +1 on the channel. So if you're going to be like me, I'm going to watch the baseball game and switch to the minor league basketball team in New Orleans.
Ouch. Well, we said we weren't going to talk about the Hornets, but, slip it in. Miami going for their 21st straight win Saturday at 7:30.
You know, a fun fact about that 20-game win streak, the Spurs in the Western Conference are only 2 games worse than the Miami Heat. ESPN doesn't talk about that.
He took 20 games to get 2 games above the Spurs. How about
Yeah.
that? And Selection Sunday is this Sunday. Get your brackets ready. See what postseason tournaments the men and women's basketball team get
love making my brackets. That is the most fun.
It's always fun. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Sports Showtime on Tiger TV.
You can catch the highlights or watch full episodes online at tigertv.tv.
Also, make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for the latest news.
Hope your midterms went well. Be responsible this St. Patty's Day. For Patrick Clay, I'm Alex Cheney. As always, you stay classy, Baton Rouge.